Hi everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie, and today I would just like to introduce myself to all those who are new. My name is Jamie, like I said, and I am a homeschool mom to 3 kiddos, and my eldest is a boy named Darrion who has special needs. He's autistic. And then I have 2 typical developing daughters, and they are 11 and 9 years old. So today, I wanted to take the chance to talk to all of those people who are SonRise subscribers. It's been a long while since I've produced a lot of videos on SonRise program and what I'm doing, and there is reasons for it. If you are interested in the SonRise program, it is a program that was developed for autistic children, and it really is a guide to help parents show their kids how to communicate better, to deal with their sensory issues and all of that kind of stuff. If you are interested, I will leave down below a link to the video that I made specifically about my review of the SonRise program. For us, it just works the best. It was the one that made sense to me when I was working through all of the issues and then ending up being a homeschool parent. There's links, or not links down below, but there is some videos on our autism story. If you're interested, just go to the video tab and scroll all the way down, because that's right at the very beginning of the channel when I talked about that. But what does the SonRise program look like in 2021? What does homeschooling for my son look like after 2020 and the COVID-19 and all of that crazy stuff that happened? And I'm going to be completely honest about a little bit of history. So when I was charged with homeschooling my son, it was not something that I had been dreaming of and had wanted to do for years and years and years, and suddenly it came into fruition. It was more of like a dump truck dumped all of the homeschool ideas on me, and I was just trying to claw my way up because special needs was a big part of that. So my girls were still in school, but Darrion needed to come home. And so I was really overwhelmed. I really didn't want to screw him up. That was a big concern for me because I was an average student, and I was like, what do I know about homeschooling my child, never mind a child with special needs? Well, if you are in that place, have no fear. While it might take you a little bit of time to get your sea legs on, I promise you, you are so motivated to take on this job, and you will find your footing and your feet. And so that was a big thing. But it took me a while, and so by the time I got to doing the SonRise program, I was already, to a certain extent, really excited, but also really, really tired. And I found myself in a place where I was just exhausted all of the time. And so I've never actually been able to get to a point where I am doing 4 to 6 hours in the playroom at a time. And I used to feel really guilty about that, if I can be honest. It used to tear me up because I got to the place where I looked at it and went, my output equals his possible futures, and I was failing him. And that obviously didn't help my mental health at all. And I really had to learn to let go. So that's where I was in January of last year, 2020, going, okay, I need to figure out what works for our family and just our family. And don't worry about what I see people doing on the SonRise program Facebook page, or what I'm hearing from other SonRise parents, or even the movie. I will leave the movie down below because I do think it has been helpful to me. Not that I want to become just like the Kaufmans, because I don't think I am capable of that, but at the same time realizing that it came from a parent's love of their child, and it's available on YouTube for free to watch. So I will leave that down below as well. But it was one of those things where I realized and I needed to let go of the stress and the pressure that I was putting on myself, going, this is all up to me, and if I'm not doing it, I'm failing. Now, a certain part of that is true. I do run his SonRise program and I do those things, but I can also take the SonRise program out of his playroom and out into the real world. So that's essentially what I wanted to talk about. What does it look like for me now? So in 2020, lots of big things happened. I'm sure lots of big things happened to you in your life as well. My girls came home. And we decided in September that we were going to keep them home, partly because Darrion was responding, he was responding to the fact that he needed to communicate with his sisters, which is something that he didn't have to do when he was with me 24/7. So that was a really good thing. And then for other reasons, we decided to homeschool them as well. But I had to get even more new sea legs on under me because, again, I was adding another layer of, what I'm going to do with my girls as well as what I needed to do with Darrion. So, and then everything else, housekeeping and all, it's crazy how much I have had to let go of my to-do list. I've had to go, okay, this is what I can get done in the next 15 minutes and that's it. And I don't feel bad about my to-do list and the fact that it's going to get done when it's going to get done. I can't force it. I can't make more hours in the day. I cannot do that. And so that was a big part of me just learning to let go of my expectations for myself and prioritize what was the most important. So for Darrion in particular, I do the girls' lessons in the morning, however long it takes. So often that's 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes 3 if we're having a particularly rough day. And then I do school with Darrion. Now that whole time that I'm doing stuff with the girls, apart from doing a read aloud in the living room, which he sometimes is in and out of, but I feel that that's important too. He is on his Xbox and there is very little that I can do about that. So again, that feeling of getting really down on myself for not taking away his Xbox, I had to give up because I know if he doesn't have something that occupies him, then he makes messes, he destroys things, he goes through his sister's room and takes up things apart, he'll throw things behind our washer and dryer. It's just a thing. And so I've had to go, okay, for our family, this is absolutely necessary or mommy is going to go crazy. The other part of it is that then I give him an option. So he had essentially from March 2020 on till we did a good month in September, but then in October I had hysterectomy. He had on and off school until January. And so come January, I'm like, we're knuckling this down. But for a very reluctant learner, do you know what that means? Oh, no. And he's gotten out of the habit of it. And so I have to build it up all over again. And while that can be incredibly frustrating sometimes because you're like, dude, we've been sitting at the computer for 3 hours. We could be done by now. At the same time, as you slowly build up, then his abilities and his willingness to do things so that he can get done quicker because you're not letting this go, has definitely helped. So today, for instance, was the first time he wrote, but he wrote with a marker. I'm like, don't care, you wrote. Sometimes it's, he types on the computer with his tongue, which is great fun, but he's doing his lesson. And so then I have to remember to take a cloth to the computer keyboard. But it is what it is. And so it's being willing to take the time that I need to with him. And yeah, that might mean the house gets left by the wayside, but that's what it takes. And then slowly we build up to his being willing to do more and more and more. But what about those days that I can't wait? And they do happen. Life happens. And so often on those days, I know not to even say we're going to do math. I don't even bother. There are often times where I will do instead is I go, okay, we're going to do a puzzle, and then we're going to do playroom fun time. So we'll do 100-piece puzzles, or these nice big floor mat puzzles, or we will do some of these tango ones, all ones to just exercise his brain. We'll do these colored tiles, and we ran out of the tiles, like they got colored on and messed up with, so these are just cardboard ones that I colored with a marker. We'll do those ones. We'll do one of these. So that's what I do in lieu of, because it is still exercising his brain. It's making him think about where pieces go, but also sorting. He sorts the end pieces from the middle. It teaches him to finish a project all the way through. And what else does it teach him? Oh, hand-eye coordination and gross motor skills, as well as fine motor skills. So all of these things are really important pieces, and it's something that he tolerates really well. And so the other thing I've started to do, as well as, the SonRise program, teaching him how to talk and stretching, you want to eat your food. Okay, how can you tell me, what would you like to eat? What would you like to eat? Where would you like me to put your food? Because he's gotten to this place where, Mom, I don't actually move my plate to the living room. I don't actually do that. That's your job. So then I'm like, okay, it's your job to tell me where you want it. Put this on the gray arm, or put the popcorn on the gray arm of our couch. So it's really important to, use the SonRise program principles even outside of the playroom, because that's a motivation of his. I want to eat popcorn. Okay, then let's talk about it, buddy. So the other thing that I've started doing as well is having him do some life skills. And so one of the life skills that I've been teaching him to do is doing the dishes. The other day he put all the dishes away out of the dishwasher, and I was so excited and so proud of him. He does laundry. He likes watching the laundry turn, and so I've been having him fill it and put it in, or use the soap and set the timer and all of that, and then put them in the dryer. I've also started him on vacuuming. So all of these things, I used to think, oh man, I'm not doing a really good job of educating him, because he'll only tolerate doing gather round maybe twice a week, math once a week, and then whenever I can get him in the playroom for about half hour to an hour. There's no volunteers, of course, in this time. So what does this look like, and how I'm doing such a horrible job? And then I suddenly realized just how much I'm doing with him and helping him learn and grow, even in this time when things aren't ideal. So I hope that this has been helpful for you, especially if you're a SonRise parent who's going, I cannot do 5 to 6 hours in a day as much as I would love to. I just don't have those hours. I hear you. I promise you, you're doing the best job that you can with your child. You are the most motivated to get this done. And yeah, just, give yourself a break, or give yourself grace for all of the guilt that might come into your brain as far as whether you're doing it right, or if it's not working, or you haven't seen tons and tons of progress. That progress will come. Thanks, friends. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for taking time to spend with me. Bye.